This presentation is intended to give you information on Memorial University's new employee or independent contractor policy. This policy was approved by Memorial's Board of Regents on September 10, 2015. To begin, it is important to know why the university developed this policy. Memorial University classifies relationships as either employment or independent contractor. This is done in accordance with the Canada Revenue Agency, or CRA, guidelines. As the university has a legal obligation to comply with these guidelines, it is important that individuals looking to have work undertaken have clarity as to whether the work can be undertaken by an individual who is hired as an employee of the university or by someone hired as an independent contractor. This policy should be referred to whenever a unit has identified work to be performed. This work can be for the completion of a project requiring specialized skills or work that is not required on a regular basis. All scenarios must be reviewed prior to the start of work to ensure the situation has been appropriately assessed and classified as either employment or independent contractor work. You may wonder what the difference is. When a relationship is deemed to be one of employee and employer, hiring is conducted in accordance with university policies, procedures, and collective agreements where applicable. In this situation, an individual performs services under a contract of services, and payment is classified as employment income and is processed by the university's payroll. When a relationship is deemed to be one of an independent contractor, payment is classified as business income and is processed by financial and administrative services. A contract for services must be prepared and signed between the unit and the contractor. The contractor can be a business entity or an individual providing services. However, it is important to note that when an independent contractor relationship exists, these individuals are not covered by any of Memorial's benefit programs and mandatory employment-related costs such as Canada Pension Plan and employment insurance payments, as well as other employment benefits and insurance, are the full responsibility of the independent contractor. Once the need for work has been identified, you should contact the administrative manager within your unit to start the process of determining whether an employee or independent contractor is required. This individual can be an Administrative Staff Specialist 3, Manager of Administration and Finance, or a Senior Administrative Officer. Together, you will refer to the determination of employee or independent contractor policy on the Memorial Policy website, found at mun.ca/policy. Once on this site, choose Browse Policies and then select Category. Under Category, the policy is available under People Resources. Once you have followed the procedure related to the policy, follow-up with Human Resources is required. Human Resources will make the final decision as to the status of the relationship. If it is determined that an independent contractor is required, the administrative manager working with you through this process must submit the following documents to the Department of Financial and Administrative Services: a copy of the signed contract, approval from the Office of the Chief Risk Officer and/or legal counsel for any deviation from the standard contract, a copy of the assessment status form, a copy of the invoice for payment, and a direct pay form. The assessment of status and the standard agreement contract form can be found within this policy on the Memorial Policy website. The direct pay form is a duplicate form that can be obtained by contacting Financial and Administrative Services. In addition, the hiring unit should obtain and maintain in their records proof of the contractor's insurance and the workers' compensation coverage. If it is determined that an employee is required, the administrative manager working with you must ensure the appropriate hiring process is followed with Human Resources and the applicable hiring documents completed. It is essential that this is done before any work is initiated. The approved policy and procedures provide all the details you need to comply with Memorial's legal obligation. Please consult the Determination of Employee or Independent Contractor policy on the Memorial University Policy website, or contact Human Resources at 864-2434. Thank you for viewing this presentation.